Listen up. Be you. You got this. I said it before and I'll say it again. Keto, rock stars, stay strong. Be you. Bacon, beef, butter. Keto rock stars. Keto rock stars. Keto rock stars. Keto on, stay strong. Be you. Keto rock stars.
Welcome, Keto Rockstars. How's everybody doing tonight? Welcome to tonight's Sunday Night Live, which is an open mic. I already have one guest backstream. I'm going to bring him on in just a moment. But before that, I'd like to say hi to a few people. We have Brian Dishes in the house, Holly Springer. What's up, everybody? Carnivore Jerry's here. John Together Strong. Hello, hello. Target Prime Rib Thomas is here. Rick Charger Mopar's in the house. Welcome. Juju is watching the football playoffs, but she will be here soon. Lynn 22 Q Cat's here. Welcome. Let's see who else. Eat a Hambone's in the house. Bill Cook's in the house. Hello, hello. Granny Boo is here. Schmoovie is here. Schmoovie, my neighbor, is in the house. Welcome, welcome. Lynn 22 Q Cat. Hello. Kelly Broken Carnivore's here. Well, I got two people backstage. I'm going to bring them on shortly, but I just want to continue saying hi. Rick Twinbrook Acres is in the house. Bride's Biscuit is here. Let's see. Sandy Blythe's in the house. Sharon Steadfast here. Juju's here. Carrie is here. Welcome. Let's see. Oh my gosh. Okay, I got to get these people on. So, the first person in the house was Paul. Welcome, Paul. How you doing tonight?
Doing well, doing well. Hi. I'm not ignoring your email for my picture. Okay?
Yep.
It's just I want to take a special one this coming Saturday or Sunday when my grandkids they're going to be dancing here in Hershey, Pennsylvania. And I'm
Perfect.
very
No
proud
worries.
of them. And my grandson's going on to world competition in March in Chicago.
Wow. That's
He qualified
awesome.
for worlds, baby.
That's awesome. Congratulations. Okay, we got two more people waiting, so I'm going to bring them on.
Great.
Hang tight, Paul. We've got Kelly, Broken Carnivore in the house. How you doing, Kelly?
I'm doing good.
Awesome. Awesome. So you're going to start live streaming here soon on Sundays, right?
Yes, January 25th, 3 p.m. Central Time.
So it's going to be Kelly, then Juliet, then me, and then Grandma all on Sundays. What a lineup, right? That's awesome. Okay, we got two more people here. We're going to bring the myth, the legend, Carnivore Jerry. Oh my goodness, Jerry, how you doing, girl?
I'm eating my mother's birthday cake.
Yummy, yummy. And happy birthday to your beloved late mother. That's what a great honor. And we got to talk about your fast tonight. I know everybody's talking about it. It's just amazing. But before that, I want to bring my other friend, good friend on here, Paul. Hi, Paul.
Hey, Amy, how you doing?
Good. Let me get this out of your face here. Sorry, I've got my screen on big because you'll notice I got a couple doohickeys here, right? The chat, I can never keep up with the chat. So I have this flying chat that comes in so that I don't have to read them. So I'm going to go ahead and keep my screen big. Otherwise, if I make it small, people can't read that. And then, how are you doing, Paul? You were sick, you were saying.
Yeah, I'm just finally getting over it.
So was it a cold or what exactly was it?
It came on the Monday before Christmas. I was out at karaoke. First song went great. Second song, as soon as I went to the upper register, I was like, whoa, what was that? And that night I started sneezing and coughing and everything. So it just finally started alleviating.
Oh, good. I
I
mean,
can
I'm
still
glad
kind
you're
of hear it in
starting to
my
feel
voice,
better.
though.
whatever is going around, knock on wood, I have wood right in front of me. Whatever's going around seems to be really, really bad this year.
Yeah, I just lost my voice like a week ago and I got it back. It's stronger now than it was a week ago. But yeah, whatever it is, like I had a sore throat Saturday night a week ago, went away quickly. I started getting hoarse. By Tuesday, my voice was gone.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah. I hope not to get that this year. So I'm glad everybody is feeling better. Okay. So before we get started and, kind of discussion as a panel, I have a diagnosis that happened to me this week. So, my doctor that I've had for 4 or 5 years, she retired at age 49. I think she's just done with the system. Like she's just done with the way things are going to be a doctor. And also her mom's sick, so she retired to take care of her mom. And her husband's a doctor too, so they can probably afford that. So I had a new appointment with this doctor that came highly recommended by some people that I'm friends with in the keto space locally here. And they said, go to this doctor, right? So I had an initial appointment with this doctor. And I just laid it right out. I came right out with keto. I didn't really say the carnivore word because, I just wanted to get it's like opinion of keto first before I threw carnivore in there. And he's like, oh, that's great. That's fine. I have no problem with that. And I just laid out all my health history, right? This and that and all the surgeries and everything else. And I said something else. I said, I've been having some weird symptoms and I suspect that I'd like to be checked for Hashimoto's or hypothyroidism because my sister's been diagnosed with that and I've been dealing with this exhaustion and some other symptoms. And he's like, oh, sure, we'll test you for that, right? Well, so within 24 hours of getting the blood test done, I saw a prescription come through. And this prescription was for Synthroid. Although I can't get in and see what my actual results were, if it's just hypo or if I tested positive for the two antigens for the Hashimoto's, but I suspect that it's going to be Hashimoto's just because some things happened to me in 2021. Y'all know what happened in 2021. And I took some things and then after that, like my immune system was wrecked. Like a bunch of stuff just started. I have never felt right since 2021. I feel better since I've been doing carnivore, right? But I'm still not 100%. And so the symptoms are all there. So I'm curious to find out if I have the full-blown Hashimoto's, which is more of a autoimmune disorder, or if I just have hypothyroidism. So we'll find that out. I think Brian Dish was asking me what my TSH was. I don't know. All I know is a prescription came through to CVS, and so I know there's something there, right? And so he prescribed Synthroid, but I think I'm going to ask for a bioidentical because my insurance is high deductible. So I'm going to pay $130, I think, a month for the Synthroid. On the, what is that prescription app? GoodRx, I can get Armor $103 for a 90-day supply. So why not just go for the bioidentical one, So I don't know. What are your guys' thoughts? I know that Paul, volleyball player Paul, you have type 1 diabetes, which is an autoimmune situation. I don't know if anybody else on the panel has any autoimmune disorders or what your guys' thoughts on that are.
No, I don't.
I think we just lost other Paul. We have two Pauls on the live stream. So
That's
hopefully he'll pop back in.
in.
Yeah. So, yeah. And if anybody in the chat has any suggestions about dealing with an autoimmune disorder, I'm kind of, other than watching Nisha over the years and not really watching her, right? But just like surface watching that stuff because, oh, he's back. Okay. Paul's back. Hold on. Let's bring him back in. There you went, Paul. We lost you.
Yeah, I'm back.
Yeah, so Someone's saying, Bride's Biscuit is saying, get a desiccated, as Juliet says, get a desiccated hormone. Yeah, I think I go back to him this Thursday. And I'll be honest with you guys. Normal doctors, you get like a 15-minute appointment, maybe 30 minutes if it's a first time appointment, right? I was there 3 hours. I thought I was going to go there and then he'll say, okay, we'll run blood tests and I'll see you in 3 months and we'll talk about stuff. No, I was there 3 hours. He did a chest x-ray. They made me do a breathing test, which I failed. So I had to sit there. They had to give me a nebulizer treatment, which I wasn't even feeling asthmatic, right? I wasn't even feeling it. They made me do a nebulizer treatment and retake the breath test. Then I had to go for a chest x-ray. Then this appointment probably cost me $1,000. I'm probably going to get a bill, but he's very thorough. And the other thing, you all know I've gained like 25 pounds, right? Since this spring. And now I know why. I have a thyroid disorder, right? So the first thing he did was offer me a GLP-1 to lose the 25 pounds I gained. And I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm good. And the only reason why I would ever take a GLP-1, I think, the only reason I would ever take one, first of all, it's not just for gaining 25 pounds, but it would be if I ever coached anybody taking a GLP-1, I would want to know what it's like taking one, right? That would be the only reason I could think to take one. But the side effects to me aren't worth even that. So I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. But here in a little bit, I'll show you what he wrote in my chart, which is kind of impressive. But let's just go around the panel and talk about. That's kind of the topic I wanted to bring up tonight, was just that new diagnosis about that. And again, I don't know what caused it. I suspect what caused it because I know kind of when I started not feeling well and kind of what the things that I did before I started not feeling well. And I've had the virus 7 times. So, I've never felt as good as the first 2 or 3 years I was on keto. But so Kelly, what's going on in your world? We'll start with you since you're top.
Well, besides getting my voice back in time to do my video that I put out this morning, I get to go back to the orthopedic specialist Tuesday. I'm hoping that we talk about surgery because my goal is I'm hoping that I get this hip replacement surgery early February so I can start recovering still in the winter time and be hopefully recovered. I'm actually looking forward to see how I recover being on carnivore versus in the past being on a standard diet.
Yep, for sure. Yeah, so February's right around the corner. Are you ready to do that? And Jerry, who's right below you, has had a hip replacement, so she may be able to speak to that, honestly. If you have any questions, she would be a good resource.
Yeah,
So,
Kelly and I met each other at the last meetup this summer.
That's right.
So we kibitzed a little bit about that.
That's right. So, Jerry, boy, you've just been lighting up the weekend with. So, Jerry, for anyone who doesn't know, just completed a 40-day fast, and it's more for religious reasons than for, eating a carnivore or keto diet. And so you actually ate. Tell us what all you've ate since last night.
I had 8 ounces of bone broth. At midnight, I nursed that for about 20 minutes, drank it very slowly. Then this morning, I say this with all affection. I ate dog food with my dogs. I made what I eat ground beef just like the dogs do, except I made Maria Emmerich's protein sparing, modified her no oatmeal. I did not use cream in it, though I had butter and egg whites. So it goes against what we're supposed to be doing for the month of January, Lion Diet, but it's a special day. I got off of a fast. Now, I know I'm experiencing my nose issues right now because of the cream, because of the dairy. I'm not eating dairy tomorrow. Today was a special day. My mother would be 105. And if she was as smart as the Dr. Atkins book that was in her closet when she died, she should have picked it up and read it a whole lot more, as opposed to dying of such a horrific, painless, cancerous death. That's why I fast how I do. Also, because I believe fasting stays off cancer. Now, 40-day fasting, I'm not telling anybody else to do it. That's a freak of nature does it, okay? But I'm going to do a little bit more fasting during the year and dry fasting this year. And maybe not do a 16th, have a 16th year of 40-day fasting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's interesting. How do you feel when you fast? You feel good?
Remarkable. The third day, I needed electrolytes because all of my muscles were super tight. But once I downed that shot of the minerals, the keto chow minerals, I just kicked butt and took names. The last week was difficult because I don't do coffee on the last week as I inch out. Now, I had an entire 40 days of going to the restroom unnecessarily, which should have stopped at the 21st day. I should have been empty. I don't know what was in my system other than could it have been issues from the hip surgery? Did I have something abnormal in my system because of the two root canals and the abscess that I had? I had a lot of medical stuff this year hit me. So I had to release it
Yeah.
all. My urine was very dark for 21 days. It wasn't because I was drinking, it was an unusual year for me.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to say hi to a few more people that just popped in. My dad's here. That's JAD608. Welcome, Dad. Evelyn is here. Rick, Twinbrook Acres. Lisa, Carnivore Whisperer. Schmoocast is here. Mason, hello. Don Schonger's here. Bride's Biscuit, Aaron, and Juliet. Welcome. And I'm going to continue to look for joiners. So if I missed you, I apologize. But oh, Lewis is in the house. Hey, Lewis. Hey, Lewis. Okay, so Paul, what's going on in your world right now at the beginning of 2026?
Just the same old. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, there's two Pauls.
You just
I
figured
keep forgetting
that out.
No, I figured it out earlier, but I forgot. Okay, so either one, someone.
Go ahead.
Okay. I'm just, as always, zero carb, as close to zero carb every day as I can be. Cut back a little bit on just how much I'm eating. Just trying to. I'm probably now a type 1 diabetic, pretty much. I can't do without insulin, and I'm pretty much just using the long-acting Lantus insulin, and very rarely do I ever need the fast-acting insulin at all. And I maintain my blood sugar between 70 and 130, 90 over 95% of the time.
Is
I
the
wish.
type 1 new diagnosis?
Well, it's probably what they call the LADA. Is that it, LADA? I have checked my C peptide in the past on my own. It was borderline low. I was right at the minimum level, and I got an appointment early April to see an endocrinologist, and I think I'm going to go ahead with the full range of C peptide test and I can't remember exactly what it is, but they check for an enzyme that attacks your pancreas.
The other Paul would know, I'm sure, because he's type 1.
Well, LADA is something that happens usually older. Usually you're a type 2 diabetic, and this happens later in life. And for many years, I was a uncontrolled type 2 diabetic. I basically, for 20 years, walked around with a blood sugar of 300 consistently. And not exactly, but And I was very mismanaged by doctors. And the doctors were idiots. They just looked at what I was doing and rubber stamped it. And, for probably 20 years, I was on a bad insulin regime. I'm allergic to almost every diabetic medication. GLP-1 put me in the hospital. The SGLT2, that put me in the hospital. Can't take metformin, and never been able to adapt to it. It's a wonderful drug, but there's and all these drugs have so many side effects. And if anybody takes a GLP-1, you're really playing with fire. The side effects can be so serious. I was on a very low dosage, one step above the introductory dosage for diabetics, and I wound up in the hospital.
Wow.
Yeah, that's because when you start on Ozempic, you start at it's an introductory dose for 4 weeks, and I can't remember the exact numbers, but it seems like it's a quarter of a gram or something you inject once a week, and a very small dose. I had gone through that; it was okay, and then they said, okay, now we'll double it, okay. Which again, still is a very small, low dose. It's nowhere near what they're using for weight loss. I mean, those weight loss doses are like 10, 20 times that. And put me in the hospital.
So Juliet is asking, why did a GLP-1 put you in the hospital?
Couldn't eat.
And so did you stop it and then it resolved, or what happened there?
No, I was scared. I went to the hospital. They kept me
Wow.
for 3 days. And not only did I have no desire to eat, when I tried to eat, it just seemed like it might have been psychological. I don't know. They were trying to tell me I was crazy, but I just didn't seem to be able to swallow. And I could drink water, okay. I could drink, I could drink almost anything, okay. I didn't seem to be able to chew and swallow food, and just didn't seem to want to go down. And I don't, And then after 3 days, I ate some scrambled eggs and bacon. They said, "Oh, you're able to eat. Goodbye." And I'm on Medicare and insurance. They just, if they can't make money off you, they want you out of there.
Mm-hmm.
That when you're in the hospital, you are a ATM machine. So they'll come up with anything they can, run whatever test, whatever they can do to generate income for the hospital, they'll do. So I was told they made up all kinds of things about me. And so I got all these tests, and they all came out, nothing was wrong with me. So I found out I got a very good heart. And my primary care physician really doesn't like me that much. I'm sorry. They look at my numbers and they go, "Well, you have you have a wonderful kidney function. You've been diabetic for 33 years. How can your kidneys be so good?" Just a blessing, And then they're upset that I'm allergic to statins. And I can't take a statin, and so then I actually got a phone call. I got, our medical information, HIPAA, you might as well throw that out the window. Because what happened was, I got a phone call from my insurance company, and it was a pharmacist. Okay, she had a degree in pharmacy. And she said, "I want to talk to you about the medications you're on. And the only thing I'm really on is insulin, okay?" And so she said, "Well, you got high cholesterol. You're really at risk for heart attack, stroke, and all this other stuff." I go, "Yeah, well, okay." I said, "I'm not worried about it." And she said, "You really need to be concerned here, And so I get lectured to, and we have these injections now, And I go, "Well," I said, "I don't." And the last time I had an injection, somehow I let them convince me that I needed a pneumonia vaccine. By the way, I'll be 70. I'll be 70 this year, so I get all the elderly things they want to
Right.
push on you. And so, a moment of weakness, I took it. And this was the second injection vaccine that I had. This goes back 4 or 5 years ago. And oh my God, like at 9:30 in the morning, I got this injection. And it was about 4:30 in the afternoon. I called my doctor's office. I says, my arm is killing me. I says, I am in so much pain. I said, I'm ready to commit suicide. A death would be better than the pain I'm in. And they said, well, you need to put a hot heating pad on this injection site. 15 minutes on, 15 minutes off. Well, you do what the doctor says, right? I about went through the roof. And I have very high pain tolerance. I've been criticized anyhow. So on the back of my Medicare insurance card, there's this, I call it dial a nurse. And they got a computer in front of them. They can tell you all kinds of things, right? And they got a nursing background. And she says, I told her when I got the shot and my symptoms were. And she says, oh, you're supposed to put ice on that, not heating pad. In fact, it says in big bold letters here, no heat for 48 hours. And so I switched to ice immediately, went 15 minutes on, 15 minutes off of ice pack. And that was about 11 o'clock at night. By like 1 o'clock in the morning, I could finally stand it. Okay. I could tolerate it. And by about 8 o'clock in the morning, I got a phone call from my doctor's office. We heard you called. Yeah. I said, your advice wasn't so great yesterday. And so I don't know if I kind of shy away from any injection, any vaccine now, because maybe it's something in the vaccine, maybe there's something that's basis to all vaccines. I don't know. But I've had 2 bad reactions to vaccines. And
I have too. Mm-hmm.
It was so painful. If I'd had a gun in the house, I would think I would have shot myself.
Yeah, I had a bad reaction as well. I'm going to say hi to a couple more people. So we have Cass and Spanky and Peter. Where did you go? Come back. Come back on here. And so I'm going to turn it over to the other Paul Maddow. Paul, what's going on in your world?
Not much now that holidays are over finally.
Yeah.
And as I said, kicked the cold, so finally back to normal life. Got the schedule for the beginning of the tournament season. So first 2 tournaments are booked and ready to go. So
are you going to be able to make Keto Palooza? Do you have that schedule?
I don't know. Yeah, that I don't know because Nationals still hasn't been announced yet as far as when and where. So chances are it's going to be West Coast like it has been the last 2 years. But dates, we're not sure yet. But the first 2 or 3 tournaments are in Siesta Keys, Florida. So we're booked and registered and ready to go for that.
What are you competing in?
I'm sorry?
What are you competing in?
I'm a professional beach volleyball player, Paul.
Oh, okay, cool. All right.
Yeah. So
My
this will
favorite
be my
sport.
this will be my 36th season.
Nice.
Oh my God.
Okay, can I ask a question, Paul? Because I feel like we're probably about the same age, but can I ask how old you are?
Yeah, I'm 55.
55. Okay, I'm right behind you. I turned a big 50 in March. So I'm like, It's just impressive that you've been playing all these years. And I had retired at age like 35 from playing because I just started and you've had surgeries too. So I find that impressive.
Right. It hasn't been 35 straight years because of the 2 knee surgeries and the shoulder surgery. And then I took 2 years off when I got the type 1 diagnosis because I had lost so much weight that I had to get my health back before I could get back competing. So 35th, like in the cumulative type thing, but I did have to take a couple of years off, in between for health challenges. So.
Yes. Oh, and I didn't say hi to Spanky either. Hi Spanky, welcome. And let's see. And Coach Angela Mullins is here. Amy, I don't look I feel 50. I feel 80. Well, and I think once we figure out this thyroid issue, I think I'll feel even better.
Oh, yeah.
But really, that just to fill everybody in who's not been following my story, I basically went carnivore in June after a bunch of like stressful events happened. I was just feeling like this exhaustion, and I'm talking about exhaustion to the point where I would lay in bed and my brain would tell my body that I need to move in the morning when my alarm went off, but I physically couldn't move my body. Like it was to the point where I was like, it was like the only word I can use is paralyzation. I was paralyzed. Like, I'm like, I just can't move my body. It got to this point where I'm like, this something's off, right? And what's funny is, and there's nothing against my doctor. I mean, she was a good doctor, but I would tell her like I'm exhausted, and we're the same age, so she's probably thinking, oh yeah, menopause, like good luck with that. We're all in the same boat, and I'm like, no, I don't know. I've never been this age before, so I don't know if this is normal or not normal. And now I realize I'm glad I asked this doctor, because in the very first blood test, in the very first appointment, he found out there was something wrong. So maybe this was a blessing in disguise that my doctor retired and I got a new doctor, because you don't find it until you find it, right? You don't know what you know until you know. And she was a very good doctor. She found my cousin's blood cancer. So I don't want to throw her under the bus or anything. It's just for whatever reason she didn't run the test that caught what I have. So it's just kind of one of those things that things happen the way they happen. Which, speaking of which, if you guys don't mind, I kind of want to show what he wrote in my chart, because one of two things that have happened here. I either found the worst doctor in the world or I found the best doctor in the world. The jury's still out, but I kind of want to share what he wrote in my chart, because it is kind of interesting. Let me see if I can find this here. I thought I had it open. I do have it open. Let me see, Chrome tab. I want to share a window, and I want to share a PDF, but I'm not seeing it. Hold on. Let me try this again. Oh, I just had it. Okay, here it is. Okay, I'm going to share this. Oh, I'm not sure what it looks like. Okay, so you can all see it. So, interesting notes. Okay, I don't care if you guys see my date of birth. We all know I'm going to be 50 in a couple months.
It's just a number.
It's just a number. I checked. That's the only thing on here, except for my address at the bottom, so I won't show that. It says here, primary care establishment. Patient seeking to establish primary care after previous physician retired. Has extensive medical history, but reports feeling amazing overall with significant lifestyle improvements, including 110-pound weight loss over 8 years through ketogenic diet, resolution of hypertension through diet control, and dramatic improvement in migraines. Currently studying to become a health coach with national physicians. I thought that was interesting. They put that in my chart. And then it says here all the things he's going to do. He did a chest x-ray and pulmonary function test, thyroid function tests, including the TPO antibodies. So he did test for that. I don't have the results yet. He's going to do a home oximetry study to evaluate my sleep apnea. He also wants to test for the BRCA gene, because my sister had breast cancer and that runs in the family. So I have to go through the mammograms and all that good stuff. And then he provided me, we talked about hormones, right? We talked about hormones, and he talked about bioidentical hormones, but we both aren't sure about doing estrogen because of the breast cancer. But he did provide me a book on taking testosterone, because believe it or not, women need testosterone as well. So I feel like he will probably at some point test me for all that. The other thing he wants to do is he wants to do allergy shots instead of continuing on with my pill form allergy medication. So I'm open to that. Okay, he mentions my significant weight loss may have improved my condition. Blah blah blah. There was something. previously experienced monthly migraines. Oh, here he's just talking about my like hot flashes and stuff. He did
Amy,
put yeah, go ahead.
can I just say that I love how he put down like your specific detail with ketogenic diet, because my endocrinologist, the continuous notes are just still doing the keto thing. I'm like, great.
So this is what really got me. This borderline cholesterol. Okay, I told him, I said, the one thing you're going to find with me is that my cholesterol is going to be high, right? He hadn't even gotten the results back yet before these results were published. This is the best part was borderline cholesterol assessment. Patient reports borderline cholesterol levels in setting of ketogenic diet for 8 years. Has history of allergic reactions to multiple medications, including previous statin offers. He put that in my chart. I've never taken a statin, but most medications make me sick one way or the other. So we talked about that. And the next part is amazing. He put in my chart, clinician not concerned about current levels given patients overall health improvements. This is the first 5 minutes this guy meets me, right? And we talk about ketogenic. I didn't even go really off about statins or anything like that. And he puts this in my chart. This is what really makes me like him. Now, he did offer me a GLP-1. And I've really only gained 25 pounds. But honestly, I think he was just trying to be helpful and offer that, because that's a tool. It's a tool in a toolbox, right? I politely declined it right now. I mean, I'm probably never going to go on one. And then he put in all of the stuff. This is the stuff I didn't even ask him to test the free T3 and free T4 and the Hashimoto antigens, but he already knew those are the things he's got to test in order to get to the bottom of this. And then here's the other things that he tested. He is going to switch me to allergy shots, and I've always wondered about those, if I would do better on those, so I'm going to try them. And then all the other stuff that's in here. So anyway, he put in all the stuff that I'm taking here too. And he also put in my chart family history of Hashimoto thyroiditis. So he tested those. Now, obviously something came up, and also he ordered all of these tests and he sent them to Quest. So I thought that was interesting. And then the other thing I asked him was, are you open to me asking for my own blood test? He's like, yeah, what do you want to run? And then I was stumped because I just wanted to know if I wanted to request a blood test, if he would do it. And I'm like, well, I have a whole book on it, right? I have a whole book on it, but I didn't realize that was going to be an option. So, but it looks like he's running a great panel so far. Okay, let me stop sharing the screen. Let me stop sharing because we have another person here. Thomas, Target Prime Ribs in the house. Welcome, Thomas.
How you guys doing?
Hey, buddy.
So, what's going on in your lane tonight, Thomas?
Not much. Just figure I'd come in and say hello. Because it's open mic night. So,
Yes.
yeah, just been doing the Lion diet, like I think a lot of us are, and it's been pretty good. My sugars are really, really good, and pretty excited about it. So, yeah.
Yes, and I think Peter said something about the fasting insulin. Yeah, as a matter of fact, that's one of the tests that we talked about was fasting insulin. So what I'll probably do too is I go back Thursday, but the next time I go see him, I'll probably stop some of the supplements and have him retest my, TSH, T3, T4, and the antigens, because I am taking a high level of iodine drops, like 10. I've increased my iodine, although I don't think it's going to affect the test but I did read where taking iodine and biotin, which I do take B vitamins, can affect your blood tests. So the next time I go back, I would like to have him retest everything he's already tested, but stop taking any supplementation for like a couple weeks before I get a blood test. Just because some of the things that I'm on probably can cause your thyroid levels to do different things. So I've been doing a little bit of research on that. I don't think that the iodine that I'm taking is indicative of me not having this condition, because I was complaining of being tired all the time, and then people like Peter and some other people were like, bump your iodine up. So I did. So I was having these symptoms before I even went carnivore or bumped my iodine up. So unfortunately, I think whatever it is I have. But I would like to stop all supplementation. And everyone's freaking out. They're like, don't stop the iodine. Don't stop the, magnesium. I'm like, just for a couple weeks, just so I know for sure that my levels of whatever this is are my levels. But yeah, I've been feeling something's been going on that's more than just 50-year-old menopause. I think I have that too, because I have hot flashes. So another weird thing that happened, this, I don't want to be gross or anything, but I'm cold and I'm hot. Like, I go from cold to hot flashes, and then I notice I've been singing in these choral concerts, and I'm wearing like fancy silk blouses, and I'm noticing that I'm just drenched. Like, my armpits are just drenched. I'm like, I've never had a sweating problem. Like, this is, and I'm cold. I'm cold and I'm sweating. I'm like, how the hell does this happen? How are you cold and then you're sweating through your armpits at the same time? I'm like, it's definitely an endocrine situation. Like, and I've noticed this for a few months now since my choral concert started up for Christmas. I'm like, something is weird, because I normally just wear t-shirts, right? So I don't notice it as much. But when I wear these like fancy blouses, I'm like, something is up with that. Like, how can I be freezing and sweating so much at the same time? I'm like, it's definitely, yeah. And then I go from being freezing to hot flashes. So I don't know. Sorry for all the guys on the panel. You probably don't want to hear all that, but to me, that indicates definitely the sweating is definitely a autoimmune situation for sure.
Yeah, way you were talking about that, Amy, it was reminding me of that Katy Perry song, when you're hot, you're cold.
That's so funny. That's so funny. But I'm excited. I'm scared about taking drugs because most drugs make me not feel well, right? But I'm excited that I've got this, there's something going on. It's treatable. It's not going to kill me. And that maybe I can take something that's going to kind of regulate the situation. And then I'm not going to feel hungry all the freaking time. Like, although I need to do this food challenge, I need to do this eating challenge before I go on the hypothyroid medication so I can beat everybody and out eat everybody. Just because I feel like I could out eat everybody right now. Like, a pound of burger, no problem, right? 2 pounds of burger, no problem. So yeah. Yeah, so I have gained 25 pounds. That's not a mystery, and I've been struggling with losing that. I am fasting today. Jerry's eating, and I'm fasting. I started fasting at noon, but I'm only going to do until 8:30 on Tuesday. So, looks like Carrie had a joke. Carrie, type your joke and put a QQQ in front of it for me, and I'll read it. Oh, that brings up a good point. If anybody has a question for anyone on the panel, or something you want read, put a QQQ in front of it. I have a filter over here, and I will read that. So what else is going on? Everyone's talking about football. It's Sunday Night Football. It's World Carnivore Month. And one other thing I want to share here, so I'm going to share the screen, is I want to talk for a minute about Ketopalooza. Okay, so this is a meetup. Carnivore Jerry and I are going to it. I think Kelly, are you going to try to go to this?
I'm going to it. I got to get with my travel agent to get this all taken care of. So I'll be doing that kind of this week.
Yes, so you can go to ketopalooza.com. Jerry and I already have our tickets, and we're going to be rooming together. So we are taking bail money because I have a feeling with Jerry and I together. And Paul, if you go, we got to go sing karaoke. So that's going to be a for sure thing. The speakers so far are Dr. Barry and Nisha, Marie Emmerich, Kim Howerton, who I'm excited to meet because she is one of our teachers in the PhD class. Autumn Weather, she's the host. And I'm sure there will be more speakers. This is very early, so it says additional speakers to be announced. And then it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, October 8th, I think, through the 10th or something like that. The venue this year is at Founders Union on the University of Louisville Shelby campus in Louisville, Kentucky, which is different than it has been. And then they give you several hotels to choose from. So, Jerry, I haven't picked a hotel yet, but we probably need to talk with Barbara and Mason about we need to talk to Barbara and Mason about, I think they want to get adjoining rooms. So we're probably going to be doing that. So anyway, I'm going to end the screen share for that. I wanted to bring that up. Okay, so Cass says, Amy, how much thyroid did they prescribe? They prescribed 75 mcgs of Synthroid, which I didn't fill the prescription yet because obviously he called the prescription in without having the review of the blood test, and I don't have access to the blood test, so I'm going to ask for that. I want to get a copy of my blood test, but it's 75, so I have no idea what that means. I don't know if that means, I have it a lot or just a little bit. I know Bride's Biscuit has that. Sorry, somebody was going to say something.
You just, with thyroid, they pick a dose, you wait 6 weeks, see how you feel, adjust, then it's probably where your weight, if you get, it looks like you've got a thyroid problem, and that weight gain or weight loss is thyroid driven, and
Yep.
and so is the sluggishness and the Energizer Bunny, and
Yes.
you get too big a dose, and you're going to be, climbing the walls, and I lived with someone with that problem, and the doses go up, like 75. I think there's a 81, a 83. They have a lot of doses of that stuff.
Yes. So I think Brian Dish just said I can get my lab results by going directly to Quest and signing up there. So I'll probably do that. And then Brian's Biscuit says it goes from 25 to 300 mcg. So I'm on the lower end. So I probably just have a touch of the thyroid issues. A touch. Evelyn asks if I follow Dr. Tro. I've heard of Dr. Tro. And she says he's a volume eater. And then here's Carrie's joke. You can say what you want about the open mic hip hop audience. They really didn't serve that bad rap. That's funny, Carrie. Thank you for the joke. So yeah, like I said, I've been binge watching Nisha's. Because the interesting thing is, okay, so devil's advocate, right? I've been on a strict keto carnivore diet for 8 years. So people will say, well, this caused that, right? Your diet caused this. Nah, because I lost 100 pounds. The first couple years, I felt, even on keto, I felt amazing. I had this amazing energy, right? Amazing energy. And then 2020 hit, and we all know what happened there. And either it was the 7 times I had the virus, or it was the bad reaction I had to the intervention, we'll just call it that, the intervention that I believe caused an immune response. I think we're going to find that I actually have Hashimoto's. not just hypothyroidism, because I feel like ever since then, weird things have been going on with my immune system. And I never got back to that amazing energy. And then it culminated this spring, and then I went carnivore. So, yeah, Cass says 75 thyroid prescribed is not something to ignore. I hope you get relief. I'm going to wait until I meet with him Thursday and then ask for the bioidentical version and see what he says. Since he gave me material on bioidentical testosterone, I'm pretty sure he's a bioidentical guy. He probably just did Synthroid because of the cost, which it's really not cheaper for me because of my insurance. So I don't know. Thoughts, panel? I'm going to shut up for a little bit. Let you guys talk.
I don't know if it's true or not, but I have heard that if you are a Costco member and you go in to get your prescription filled and you're paying cash, you're asking for a cash price, often the price is one half.
I think
Of
Peter
their-
said that about Walmart too. He gets his Synthroid for like $10 and doesn't go through insurance.
Walmart has a lot of their own generics, particularly in the world of diabetes. They have a lot of insulins and stuff that are very inexpensive. And because when you go throughout, I was on a Facebook page, and it was in Denmark, and they were talking about choosing between having food to eat, paying the electric bill, or getting the insulin they need as type 1 diabetics. And you hear about all these European countries, how wonderful their medical plans are, socialized medicine. And these people were making serious decisions about their life. And so it's a problem all over the world. And let's face it, diabetes does not get the attention it should get. Particularly type 2, every other person in the United States is a type 2 diabetic. Every other person. Either pre-diabetic, type 2 diabetic, or undiagnosed. It's almost 50% now. Every other person. And India has 300 million type 2 diabetics. 300 million. That's almost how many people we got in this country. Diabetes right now costs $1.5 billion every day. We amputate a leg every 3 minutes.
Wow.
We amputate a body part every 30 seconds. Toes, whatever, fingers. And my son who works a mandatory 50-hour, he makes artificial legs for a living.
Well,
He's a prosthetic technician. And he makes 5 to 8 legs every day, and he's on a staff of, there's 70 technicians. They make almost 500 legs every day. 300 to 500 legs every day they make. And you hear nothing about it. If this was a virus,
Right.
they'd be screaming bloody murder. But it's a very profitable, people go along with diabetes and provide plenty of money to the medical system through insurances or whatever. And you take diabetes out of the picture, and there'd be a lot of empty beds in hospitals.
There would be, for sure. I'm going to say hi to a few more people. We've got Tanya, Kitchen Witch, Retired Rick, welcome. Josephine, JoJo's in the house. Jonathan, Carnivore Muscle, and Barbara, Grandma's Crochet Corner. She's also going with us to Keto Palooza, so watch out. Think we're going to
just
have...
bought my ticket.
Did you just buy it?
Yes.
Woohoo, Kelly's committed. All right.
Yeah,
So
they
let's
had
go
an
around...
early bird special.
Yeah, they did it.
Or
That's what I got for Jerry and I too. It was cheaper, and once they run out of those, it's going to be full price. Did you have
are
a
they running?
question?
Are they running
Yeah.
early bird right now?
Yes, and
Yeah.
here's the deal, Paul. If you want to buy your ticket and you can't use it later, you'll get money for it. So you can always
Right,
resell it to someone else.
Ah,
right. I think I might actually buy one right now while they're still cheap because, like I say, 3 years ago, I won a couple pairs from Joe and Rachel, and I ended up not being able to use them because of nationals. So
And did you sell? Were you able to sell them,
no, because they were free. So
or were they
I
able to
can,
give them to other people?
yeah,
Then,
they gave them to
yeah.
somebody
Okay,
else.
good. Yeah, because I think there's only like 300 people. Like they only allow three. They keep it at 300. So once those and they sell
Right.
out every year. Every year well, except
Yep.
for last year they didn't have it. Okay, let's go around the panel starting with Kelly and let's talk about it's World Carnivore Month, right? Are we all carnivores here? Well, you're carny close enough, right, Paul Maddow? You're carny close enough. So I want to know, and I'm not putting anybody on a spot here or anything if you're not doing anything, but I want to find out. Starting, we'll just go from. I can't point the right direction. Kelly, then Jerry, then Thomas, then Paul, then Paul. So Kelly, you first. Are you doing anything for World Carnivore Month? Anything special?
Just my general routine carnivore, pretty much. Now,
So,
like today, since I ate probably I didn't finish it because I got stuffed, but I had about 2 pounds of ground beef. But I can eat the ground beef by itself, but when you add like a carnivore bread to it, I filled me up. So I did that, and I made a like my pizza crust, which I'm gonna do an upcoming video how to make it. Pretty much what it is Courtney Luna's carnivore bread recipe cut in half, except for the pork panko. And it worked great for a pizza crust. It worked great for flatbread.
yep.
And so I'm going to make a video on that. But yeah, that's stuff. But like today, I only ate that. And I depends tomorrow. I may just, if I'm not hungry, I'll take that for leftovers. But if I'm not hungry, I'm not going to eat. I'm going to eat. I'm going to wait until I get hungry because I'm going to see how far I can go. Because I've been wanting to, I did do a 36, 40-hour fast before, but that was for a colonoscopy. But I want to do this again a little bit longer because there is benefits to fasting. And when I do have this hip surgery, I'm not going to want to eat 2 meals a day because I'll be active, but I'll be recuperating as well because, I have to take it easy. I don't want to wreck this new hip when I'm
Right.
recovering.
Right. So Jerry, well, you
now
just
that I've
got
started eating again,
yeah, so okay, now that you haven't been eating at all. So like are you going to do anything special with your eating during World Carnivore Month or just carnivore?
I look at today as being a special day. Now I'm turning in my carnivore card right now because I had whipped cream for my mother's 105th birthday cake. So, ah, I am going to participate in the organ challenge because I put organs in, sprinkled the pluck today, and you have to do it 4 times during the month of Organuary. So I'm participating in that. I'm just going to eat when I'm hungry. I am definitely stopping dairy. The exception was the birthday cake for my mom's birthday, and my nose is running like a faucet. I have to stay away from dairy, and I know that's what it is. I ate a lot of stuff today, but my stomach's not upset, Amy. I don't feel sick or any of that stuff.
No poopaloopas?
Nope, not nothing.
Sorry,
Nothing.
we talk about poop on this channel. It's totally fine. Thomas is shaking his head cuz that's a thing. Like if you stop eating for that long and then you eat something even a little bit,
Yeah.
you can get the poopaloopas, which is not good.
When you said that, I was thinking about the strawberry poop gas.
Yeah, Rick's strawberry poop gas. For sure. Yep. So Thomas, what are you doing? Tell us what you're doing for World
Okay.
Carnivore Month.
Well, I'm definitely doing line diet, and I'm doing it for a few reasons. I'm doing it for Carnivore Month. I'm also doing it for celebration of my carniversary that was on January 1st. And I'm doing it
Congratulations.
in support. Thank you. And I'm doing it in support of everyone else that's doing line diet, sort of like a, like a let's be in together type thing. And I didn't realize it was even Organary month or whatever Jerry just said. But
Or January.
or
I don't
January,
even know how
thank
you say
you,
that.
thank you.
Yeah.
Gasonary?
That sounds like a dirty word. I'm just saying.
It does, yes. But no, I actually on Tuesday I'm going to cook for the first time ever, beef heart. So,
Ooh.
so I'm going to not only cook it for the first time, but I'm going to try it for the first time. So we'll see how that is. And I also got some liver that I'm having like just little, like I cut into little strips, and once a week I'll have like a piece of liver, like, just to kind of get some of the vitamins and nutrients in
Hey,
my body.
Thomas, video or it didn't happen.
Yeah, you got to make a video of that, and no
Yeah.
boiling grease, please. Like, don't
No.
deep fry
Yeah,
it. You're
seriously.
banned from that.
Full face shield.
He's never gonna live that down.
No.
And
Air
he
fryer
looks.
only for you, Thomas.
Hey,
I
well,
gotta say,
at least
ahead.
it showed how fast I healed.
that is true. You did heal very fast for the red. How red your nose was. I'm gonna say hi to Helix and Lizzie. Welcome. They're here. Okay, so Paul number 1. Paul. This Paul. What are you doing anything for? Yeah, we're
Well,
pointing at him.
I continuously make changes and adapt as I go along, and I've started eating. I've never eaten very much pork, so I'm eating a little more pork. I buy the discounted pork chops. They're marked down 50%, and they're very cheap. I individually freeze them, and I have one about every 3 or 4 days with a couple eggs for start my eating my meal that day. Pork's very high in vitamin B, and I want to be sure I get ample amounts of vitamin B. It's also in beef, but if you are on a lion diet, you can be low in B1 thiamine.
Mm-hmm.
And a few cases of this have been reported amongst carnivores. That came from Dr. Ken Berry. So, and I've been cooking my pork gently, low temperature, slow and low, and I kind of I'm down to 1 can of Coke Zero a day, which is a major change. And that's all I'll say on that topic. And I'm 69 and a half. I have 69 and a half years totally free from organ meats and sardines. Never touched the stuff. See, when I grew up in dairy country in upstate New York, when they bred a heifer for the first time, they did it with an Angus bull or Angus semen, artificial insemination, to give the cow a smaller calf. First time.
Mm-hmm.
And many people raise those for beef. You can get two and raise them side by side, and they keep each other company, and you get some pretty good beef. And my uncles would butcher these things, and my dad, and all the organ meats went to the dog or dogs. We never ate it. And I never, it's just the way I grew up. So I've never touched the stuff. The only organ meats we ever ate was turkey liver. And you know what?
Mm-hmm.
And my mother would grind it in a hand grinder, cook it with parsley and butter, add breadcrumbs and Parmesan cheese to it, salt and pepper, make them into balls, and cook them around the turkey. At the dumpling. We call them stuffing balls. Very popular in Switzerland and German cuisine. called liver dumplings.
Hmm.
And I never knew the formal name of this until Google came out. And I put in the ingredients and said, what is this recipe for? And it came back with liver dumplings. I said, okay. And that Bourdain guy who used to eat food all over the world,
Yeah.
he talked about it one time in Eastern European countries. It's peasant food is what it is. And my grandmother was a Swiss, come from very south of Switzerland. My grandfather was very northern of Italy, but they came to this country in 1915. She was 18, he was 21. They got on the ship unmarried. They got out to sea, 20, however how far they had to get out to sea, and the captain married them. And
That's
but
fun.
I'm not doing, I wish there was I think we all kind of dream it. I remember when I started this 5 years ago, I thought, oh, in a year, I'll have beaten diabetes, And that didn't happen. And I've beaten back just about everything else. I had unknown illnesses that I never even went to the doctor for. Or if I did go to the doctor, they said, "Oh, we don't know what to do."
Mhm.
And I had skin conditions that are gone now, but nobody knew what they were. And so I watching my daughter with her family. I got 4 grandchildren from ages 4 to 11, and she restricts their carbohydrate, the junk carbs, okay, the sugar, the added sugars. So they'll have Christmas cookies, but the next day you can't find a Christmas cookie; they're like gone. I don't know what and you won't you couldn't find them in the house. I think they go in the trash. I'm not sure what she does with them. But and I was really surprised. My grandchildren are all very lean, very athletic, and one of them started getting a little chubby and got very severely mocked by the others. It was very cruel. And all of a sudden I noticed, just in a matter of about and I didn't even notice it. I didn't think she was the least bit, I don't see him that much. And she's now very, very lean like the others. Because my daughter has all kinds of programs. On Halloween Eve, Halloween night, you could sell your candy for $15 a pound. Halloween
Wow.
morning, the price is down to $10. So they're learning all kinds of economic lessons. Then
That's
she
a good
donates
way to
all
do it.
Yeah, she buys, and if you don't open candy, if you could keep the candy in your room and not open it, you get a bonus every day.
That's
My
awesome.
kids,
That's
my grandchildren have very big bank accounts
that's
because
good.
this March they will earn $3,000 to $4,000. They go into bars and restaurants and dance on St. Patrick's Day week.
Because they're all
And
dancers, right? They are all like, yeah.
they study traditional. It's very little like what you see on TV, but it's somewhat similar. And they know how to attract the crowd, and they really enjoy what they do. And I could never do what they do. And and she takes a police officer with her in full uniform, off-duty
Nice.
police officer. Yep, child protection. And
Yeah, for sure.
you get a drunk or you get somebody with an issue, and
Right.
I taught
So
my daughter
I'm gonna go say hi to Terry Sue and Lambs, and then we're gonna turn it over to Paul Maddow. Paul, are you doing anything for World Carnivore Month? Or are you still doing Carney Close Enough, as you call it? Or what's
Yeah,
the other
well,
one?
Carnita.
Carnita. Yeah.
Arnita.
That's right. I remember.
Anything different or just, your usual?
Like in the off season, I usually go down to one meal a day because I'm not as hungry because I'm not training as much. But now that I'm getting back into training, getting ready for the upcoming season, I'm kind of kicking it back up to 2 meals. So I'm kind of doubling to tripling my protein intake because, like I said, I lead with meat, and then any veg that I decide to have is just, for sheer entertainment kind of thing. So, so I've been probably about 250 grams to 300 grams of protein for the last few weeks, and hitting the gym again and that kind of thing. But as far as dietary, now my lifestyle kind of stays the same 12 months out of the year. So I don't really change things up. I'm watching a few new YouTube creators who are new to me that are in the carnivore space. And so I'm seeing some of the things that they're doing. And a couple of them just like, how exactly is that carnivore, let alone even ketogenic? 1.5 cups of like buttermilk powder in the recipe. Like, okay, whatever. I don't
You
judge.
know?
I don't judge at all. So I'm just, that's kind of cool, like discovering new creators and that kind of thing. But
Any ones you want to mention? It's okay to mention them here. I don't mind. Maybe I want to watch them.
I think one of them is, what was her name? Carnivore Revolution, I think was her name.
Okay, I've heard of her.
And she was making carnivore pancakes and carnivore syrup and whatever. You put anything, it's like the old keto diet, keto this, keto that. You put carnivore in front of it and, whatever.
She's the lady, excuse me, Paul,
Yes.
she's the lady that sells the beef tallow and the
Yes.
lotions and stuff. Yes, sir. Sorry about that. Thank
I've
you.
heard of her.
No, no. Not at all, Jerry. And like I say, most of the creators I watch for sheer entertainment purposes. I just like watching their channels. I like watching their vlogs, their day in the life, their this is what I eat in a day kind of thing. And 9 times out of 10, I'm like, great, it just went along with your day, and that's great. The last recipe I ever tried was Hope and Andy's pizza crust because it looked legit. It wasn't chicken. I'm like, all right, let's give that a try. And it was really good. But, when it comes right down to it, give me some meat, give me a grill, and I'm a happy camper.
Right. Oh, Aaron just asked about berberine. Okay. So I have experience with berberine because I saw Dr. Barry post about it, and I saw that he said that it can temporarily lower your LDL and raise your HDL, right? To make your ratio better. He doesn't recommend taking it long term. So my last doctor, when I first started seeing her, she was on me about statins so much to the point where I would get this terrible anxiety before I would go see her, and it would raise my blood pressure. So she thought I had high blood pressure, but really it was white coat syndrome because I knew I was going to get a lecture about statins. So I would take berberine 8 weeks before my blood test. And it did lower my LDL and raise my HDL, right? So, I mean, I would do it just to get her off my tush. So I didn't have to hear about it. So it was more of a thing. But the other thing that berberine does, it's a natural metformin. So you can take that, and it supposedly, now this is not medical advice. I'm not telling anybody to go out there and buy berberine and take it. Always consult your physician before making dietary changes. There, that's my blurb. But yes.
Hold
So
up the sign.
I'm actually thinking about starting again, and the reason is because I'm hangry all the time. Like, I'm having these thyroid issues. Now, maybe I don't want to do too many things at once, right? But it does help with, like, hunger and, that sort of thing. It's supposed to help as a weight loss thing, whatever. So I've thought about taking it again, but I do have some in my counter, and Dr. Barry has videos about it. But no, Lewis, this is not I repeat, this is not medical advice. No.
Hey, I'm
I'm
7
just
credits shy of my naturopathic doctor licensing. So once I get that 7 credits under my belt, I will start giving medical advice
dude,
Yeah,
why haven't you gone back and gotten that?
because it's not recognized in New York. And you know how much credit hours are for naturopathic doctor licensing? It's very expensive.
But you could do patients in other states.
I'm sorry?
Couldn't you couldn't you do patients in other states?
I'm still licensed in New York though, so no, it's
Oh,
not. I'm not a
okay.
recognized medical professional in New York State.
I've
I can
tried
consult
berberine.
with people, but I can't do like scripts or anything like that.
Yeah, no, that's awesome though. I would still do it. I don't know. I would
Yeah, I
still
will
do it.
eventually.
There is two different types of berberine, though. One is slightly processed. I if you search around, you'll find it. I could find it and email it to you if you want me to. I'd have to dig through my files a bit. I have quite a bit of experience with berberine because I thought, maybe I can't do metformin, but it's a metformin like drug
Mhm.
and lacks some of the characteristics of metformin, but it also has some of the same characteristics as metformin. You could have serious, diarrhea, vomiting, that kind of thing. It can be depending upon the individual, depending upon the dose.
Mhm.
Um, I have seen when I was researching it all and looking at it, I did see things like don't do it 7 days a week, only do it 6 days a week or 5 days a week. Only do so many weeks in a row, then give
Yeah.
yourself a break. Um,
Mhm.
Things of that nature. Uh, it is almost bioidentical to metformin.
Mhm.
It's very, very close. But and I couldn't tolerate it.
I could,
And
but I have to start with 1 pill a day for 1 week and then bump up to 2 pills a day for I
and
have to titrate up. And I can stop it no problem, but titrating up is how I typically, but I haven't done it since April or since right before my last blood test with my last doctor. Now, my new doctor supposedly doesn't care about my cholesterol. So, I mean, if you all saw what was in my chart, so I don't know if I really worry about my cholesterol anymore. Although the weight gain thing is kind of annoying me, but maybe I just go on the thyroid medication and we see what happens with my weight then. It's only 25 pounds. It's not like I've gained 100 pounds back. So,
I
plus, I honestly like my face a little fatter because it puffs out my wrinkles. So there's that. A little bit of
There you
extra,
go. Look at Thomas. Do it again, Thomas.
We have a couple questions. So, Aaron, I posted the link to the Keto Palooza. And then Carrie says, Carnivore Jerry, I hope whipped it real good with the whipped cream. Juju says, okay, so this is what I'm doing. Juju says, Amy, I'm doing fast Mondays. Are you too? It is easy. So yes, I found, and this is probably part of my autoimmune issues, undiagnosed until recently, but when I don't eat anything at all, when I don't eat the whole day, I feel amazing. My joints, I still have a little bit of residual joint pain because I think it's inflammation from things that are in food, even meat and eggs. Okay. Even just eating meat and eggs and butter. And I want to say a month ago, I couldn't get my rings on, right? And I freaked out because of the weight gain. And I got really mad that I couldn't put my wedding rings on after I just paid all this money to resize them down last year. And, then that probably jinxed me with the weight gain. Getting my rings resized probably jinxed me. I waited 8 years to get them resized, and the minute that I resized them, I gained weight. Right. So I freaked out, and I was so mad I couldn't get my wedding rings on that I'm like, I'm not eating today. And honestly, it was inflammation. It wasn't even the weight gain causing me not to be able to get my rings on. So by the end of the day of that fasting, I was able to get them on and off. So that tells me I had water retention. But I felt so amazing when I did that. So when someone mentioned no eating, I want to say no meat Mondays, but if that's all you're eating is meat, then maybe it really is no meat Mondays, no eating Mondays. So someone mentioned, I want to say it was Grandma Barbara mentioned fasting on Mondays, right? So
Right.
I started last week. My last meal last Sunday was at 6 p.m. and I went until 8:30 on Tuesday. So it was really like 32-hour fast. Today I had a concert and then I had this. So I ate at noon. So my last meal was at noon and honestly it's 8:20. I'm not going to eat tonight. I'm not going to eat. So I'm going to go from noon today until 8:30 Tuesday morning. I don't know how many hours that is, but that's what I'm going to do. And I know that tomorrow I'm going to feel amazing. As a matter of fact, I'm probably going to stay up way too late because of the ketones. I'm not going to. So, yes, Juju, I am doing it. And then retired Rick has a question for Thomas. He wants to know, are you losing weight while doing the lion diet?
Yeah, that I'm not. I don't know. Unfortunately, I tried weighing myself yesterday, and the batteries are dead, so I have to get new batteries for the scale. But I do feel like I've lost weight, so just go with that, basically. You know.
That's awesome. Yeah, I feel great too. Another couple things I've been doing is, well, the fasting on Mondays, but Lewis
I mean,
has
just
this
my
app.
just my BS numbers alone is it's
Blood
like
sugar. What's your blood sugar at, Thomas?
right now at this second it's 105.
And that's good for you, right?
That's very good for me. But yesterday morning was even better. This morning was about 91. Yesterday morning was 83. So, and then the day before that, it was a little higher in the morning, so I had to take some insulin. But then it actually shot right down to 60, and didn't take any insulin or anything like that, obviously, and didn't do anything. Didn't take any carbs or anything to make it go up. And it actually went up and didn't stay any higher than 94 the whole day.
That's good.
So I don't know if it's because of the no dairy. I don't know if it's because of the no butter. I don't know if it's because of the no coffee. I have no idea. But, I was originally
Well,
blind diet and still keep the butter and coffee, but I'm glad I decided to keep.
so one way to figure that out, right, is when this month is over with, add one thing at a time.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. But I'm doing so well, I might decide to actually continue doing Lion for, I might go for the 90 days and do Lion for the 90 days. I'm not sure yet, but, the only thing that's kind of deterring me is seeing Jerry's Oopsie Cake. So,
Yeah. Now, do you put sugar in that, Jerry? Just out of question, like sweetener? So it's a cake with no sweetener in the icing.
No sweetener, vanilla extract. That's
Vanilla.
all.
Okay, cool. I was just curious about that. And then Lambs has a question. Yeah, Lamb says, are you all concerned or aware about vitamin D levels during winter? I'm concerned about vitamin D levels all year round because I never get out in the sun,
Yeah.
like unless I go to Florida. So I take it all year round. But I take the vitamin D3 K2
I take a
In the
10,000 IU
wintertime,
once a week.
all year round. Paul Maddow. Yeah.
Yeah, all year round. Even though I'm in the sun during the summertime, type 1s are famous for low vitamin D, so I take a 10,000 IU once a week.
Yes.
And when you learn how
Yes.
vitamin D is made, it's not made in your body. It's made on the surface of your skin.
Right.
Mhm.
And then
And so let's say you go
absorbed.
outside and you enjoy the sunshine for 2 hours and you're mildly sweaty or something. And then you get done, you go in and shower. You're washing the vitamin D right down the shower drain. Okay?
Well,
'Cause
it's
they
getting
have
absorbed into your
taken the-
body, Paul.
Yeah, it
through
takes
the
time to
skin.
absorb in.
Right.
Takes
I'm on the
time.
beach for 8 hours a day on the weekends, 16 hours total, and then I'm on the beach for like 5 hours a day during the week. So
Yeah.
even with all that, being
Oh,
type 1, I still
I
have
wasn't criticizing. Yeah, I wasn't criticizing what you're doing.
no,
I
I
was just
know.
pointing
I'm
out to
just
people
explaining
that.
how
Yeah.
it right.
Yeah.
I'm just
Yeah.
explaining how it works for me. Even though I'm in the sun for so long, I still have to take an external vitamin for it. So
Yeah.
that's just the nature of it.
I take quite a bit every day, and you know, I agree with you. Vitamin D is also. I had to go to a healing specialist, a wound specialist, and it's the only time I've ever been asked by a doctor what I'm eating. They're very concerned with protein, okay, for healing your wounds. They're also very concerned about my vitamin D level, okay. They said we're going to test you for your vitamin D level, and if it's not high enough, we want it up, you know. And so you know, I usually get my doctor to order the vitamin. It was the D25 lab once a year, just make sure I'm not going too high. And
Right. Right.
but yeah, I take. Yeah, I won't say how much I take, but it's not excessive. I don't believe, but I did
Well,
double.
the
You see, this is one thing that gets me about minerals, particularly magnesium, potassium, sodium, and you'll hear people throughout the carnivore world say, "Well, our soils are depleted in this because we've depleted the soils." Well, those minerals and nutrients were not distributed throughout all the arable land in the earth evenly so that we had adequate nutrition. So if you go to college and study animal husbandry, you will learn about vitamin and mineral insufficiencies in animals. And just as us humans, if we don't get the right amount of magnesium and copper and magnesium and potassium, we can develop serious issues. And so can cows and goats and sheep and all them. And that's why all farmers, virtually all farmers that I know, they all supplement their livestock with minerals. And that's why you go to the farm store, they have these salt blocks. It's not just salt, it's a mineral block, really. And there's powdered minerals, which you can put directly into the cow's feed. And they've got mineral feeders, looks like a tire with a flap on it. The cow knows how to stick its head in there and lick the powdered minerals up. And people say, well, what do they do in Africa? The Watusi, the tribe that drinks the blood and milk from the cows. They travel 60 miles in one direction to haul back the salt and minerals that they need. They go mine them where they know they'll be beneficial to the cows. And they haul that back to their village and use it. It's so just as we're not the only ones that need supplements of necessary trace minerals and those things. All mammals need those things.
Okay, I have to say hi to a few more people. We got Dustin in the house. Welcome. That's Keto Simple. He's going to be at Keto Palooza. Lori Weitzel, Schmoocast, Bill Cook, and Jerry was just holding something up to the screen. Jerry, was that your
Mayo
vitamin D
Clinic.
levels?
Yeah, Mayo Clinic always freaks out about mine. I don't care. What did I show you? 96 was my
Yeah.
high.
Yeah,
I'm
my
not
doctor
upset
did too.
with that. Yeah, they
How
always,
did you test that? Is that with your?
Mayo does it.
Oh,
Mayo
okay.
does
I was gonna say, and I think my doctor tested a bunch of. My new doctor tested a bunch of stuff, but my old doctor, my husband and I were both on vitamin D3, and our levels were high. And she's like, "You guys need to back off." So I went down from 10,000 IU a day to 5,000 because my doctor wigged out, and I'm like, "Fine, whatever. I'm still gonna take it." Just because it's important to
you're
take.
on
I'm like,
10,000 IU a day?
I just took 2 instead of 1.
A day?
Yeah.
10,000 IU a day?
Is
Wow,
it?
That's
Isn't
what I
it?
a
do.
lot.
Yeah.
That's,
It
that's a
depends on
lot.
you. Depends on the individual.
No, I
I
agree,
think.
but I've never heard anybody on that much a day.
And
On
if
10,000 I
I
do
do.
a week.
I
oh
do it.
well, I mean the pills, the little
You
tiny
do
pills
it
are
as well?
5,000 daily, and I just take
Wow.
2. But now I'm just taking 1.
Wow. I've never heard
A
people
hundred
on that high of
is
dose.
not excessive.
No, no, I agree.
I
I'm
don't think.
not questioning anything. I've just never
Yeah.
heard
Well, I
people
hear
on
you.
that.
I hear you. I hear you.
Well, Dr. Berg, mentioned sometimes you may have to take that much. And I know there's I hadn't followed her in a while, but when I was on the keto spectrum, before I went carnivore, keto, I can't remember. She's a pharmacist up in Northwest. She takes about 10,000 IU because they
Mhm.
don't get much sun. But like here, I take 10,000 IU a day. But once spring hits and the days gets longer where there's nicer, I drop down to 5,000 IU
Yeah.
until wintertime.
Wow.
Well,
Well,
and
the book.
it snows. It snows here anywhere from October to June. So like our sunlight sucks here. And
There's
I'm just
Thomas.
not a
He's got
very
the
outside
combination there.
person. Hmm.
Yeah, it looks like Thomas's is 10,000 as well. I take the
Yeah.
sports research D3 and K2 that has the coconut oil. This is what I take with the coconut oil
Nice.
as opposed to a powdered D and K2.
Well, and while we're talking about supplements, so something that happened to me, um, I need, I want to get tested for the MTHFR gene where you can't methylate like folate and stuff like that because part of when I wasn't feeling good and I was exhausted all the time, they tested me for B vitamins, right? And I got on this thought where I need B12. I need B12. So my one surgeon who did my hysterectomy, who's keto friendly, who I can't see anymore because his payment structure sucks, but he put me on B12. Okay. And then my normal doctor, she tested me for B vitamins and she said, I'm not reading that. She said, that's the bad thing about this tool. It posts every comment, whether it's good or bad. But so I lost my train of thought. So my regular doctor put me on B complex because she tested me and my B vitamins were low, right? And so I was taking B12 and I was taking B complex, which has B12 in it. And then 2 years later, she wanted to test me for B vitamins, and they called me the minute they got, and they're like, "You need to stop all B vitamins." I'm like, "Well, why?" And they're like, "Because you have toxicity." I'm like, "Okay, well, what are the symptoms of toxicity?" And they're like, "Well, it can't kill you or anything, but you're gonna be in the bathroom a lot." I was having poop issues for like 2 years, and I went to the doctor with the poop issues, and they were testing me for C. diff because I was taking care of my mother in law in the nursing home, right? Because I lived in the bathroom and I was on Imodium, and like Dr. A prescribes me B vitamins, Dr. B prescribes me B vitamins. And they're like, well, it won't kill you, but you're going to poop a lot, runny poop. And so finally, like, I went off of it. And I still take B vitamins, but I don't take them every day. I maybe take them a couple times a week, and I only take the B complex, not the B12. And I don't know why, because I thought maybe it helped. Now, come to find out, I have this thyroid issue, so maybe I don't need to B vitamins at all. But whatever. But yeah, it's like even when you're under care of a doctor, the doctors don't talk to each other and they don't always catch things that are happening, right? When one tells you one thing, one tells you the other thing, the messages don't always get back to each other. So, I mean, the only advice I can do is like do your own research and be sure to tell your doctor everything that you take because they need to know because they need to test for things because sometimes some of these vitamins you can get toxicity from. You can. Now, it may not kill you, but it may give you undesirable. And sure enough, I backed off on the B vitamins bathroom issue stopped.
Hmm.
So, you know, Dr. Barry says you will poop. You can't overdose on vitamins. You'll poop them out. Well, that's the truth. You will poop them out, but you may be pooping a lot. So I'm just saying, you
I do
know,
want to give a shout out to Amy on something, and I got my heat resistant gloves yesterday at Amazon.
that's awesome. You like them? Have you tried them
I
yet?
haven't tried them yet. I was hoping before my pizza got out of the oven, because I used a cast iron skillet. And I'm
Hmm.
like, I'm hoping they come early. I'm like, oh, it's gonna come about 3:30 and 5:30. I'm like, I had to use my welder's gloves.
They're
That's
great.
awesome. I love them,
They're
Amy.
Do you? So, Jerry, I had a giveaway when I became monetized, and Jerry won a pair of gloves, and I sent a pair to Rick too, just because we did the heart attack burger together, the cooking, and my neighbor got those for me for Christmas last year. We've known each other since we were kids, so we get each other gifts every year, and those are my one of my favorite kitchen things are these oven gloves, and they're only like they're not real expensive. You can get them on Amazon, and they're fantastic. Like for I when I cook bacon and I have to pick up the thing and Peter take or not Peter, Thomas take notes because you need all the protection you can get. But when I go to dump the grease into the bacon grease saver, but Thomas needs a ski mask made out of that stuff, I think.
No, no,
You
no.
know.
It's called full face shield.
Yes. A
It's
grease
like a
shield.
plastic window. It comes right down in front of your face.
So yeah, so those are my favorite things because they go all the way up to your elbow. So you put these oven gloves on and you can lift the cast iron skillet. And those cast iron skillets stay hot for a long
Oh
time.
yeah,
Like,
the one I
yep,
used
Jerry
yesterday.
just got hers. Jerry just got, see, those are my favorite things. And they go all the way up the arm. And they're great. They're fantastic. And then they just, I use them when I'm getting things out of the smoker. They're just fantastic. I don't know. They're one of my, you can get them in different colors, but they're like my favorite kitchen thing. So I saw Jerry was using them on her live stream today. But yes, I'm glad you got a pair, Kelly. I'm sure we'll see them in your videos.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna be using them a lot, because normally I have these that goes over the cast iron skillet handles, but I only have two left, and they're getting in bad shape. So I'm like, I'm gonna get something where I can have some heat resistance besides having to go over to the utility room where my washer and dryer is to grab the welding gloves that I use for barbecuing.
I was there all day and cooking up a storm in mine.
Yeah, I noticed that. I'm like, oh yeah, Jerry's got her gloves on. Let's see. Barbara said something good about Dr. Nelson says you can overdo it on vitamins, but I don't see what the rest. Here it is. I'm just going to pop this up real quick. About vitamin, it cut it off. I don't know what that. I wish I knew. Oh, Peter's
Yeah,
asking
what
8 Ball, will Amy lose the 25 pounds that she gained? Oh, ask again later. Whatever. Whatever. That sucks. Which, honestly, I was kind of surprised. Okay, I have to tell the story about the doctor because it kind of pissed me off a little bit. I'm getting all riled up now. But honestly, like, I'm at what, 170? Well, his scale said 181, but he weighed me at like the middle of the day after I ate. I always weigh myself in the morning, first thing after I pee and am naked. I always weigh myself naked because that's a thing. I don't know. And I've been weighing about 174 in the morning, 174, 175, which is my wedding weight. And I look really thin in my wedding pictures, but I've gotten down to like 153. 148 was my lowest, but I think that was a little too thin for my frame. I would like to be about 150 to 155. And he did this thing. He's like, well, you need to lose about 25 pounds. And that's about the amount that I've gained, right? Maybe a little less. And then he made me do this thing where you take your fingers, and I can't do it all the way, but like I can't touch my fingers, right? But I have small fingers. I don't have long fingers. and I can't touch. And he goes, that is a sign that you're overweight. And so I'm like, dude, like, do you realize I was pushing 300 pounds and I'm like 173? And if I get any thinner, you're going to I'm going to look drawn, wrinkles.
Yes.
And I didn't say that. And that's when he offered the GLP-1. And I'm like, no. But you saw all the other things he put in my chart. It was only my first time meeting him. I think there was a lot of positives in there. I think the only negative was that, well, I kind of like that he'll tell me, look, you're overweight, right? Because all my other doctors would never say anything. My one male doctor that I had since 17, I think it's because he's married and he's like, dude, even doctors are humans and they don't want to tell a woman you're fat. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're afraid they're not going to walk out of the office that day and you're going to be on the news if you tell a female you're overweight, right? So it was kind of nice to have someone honest, although I don't know that 25 pounds constitutes. He could have said something like, we'll just work on that. And he didn't even know at that point, he hadn't seen my blood work. The thyroid issue explains the weight gain to me. I'm not a doctor, but I'm studying to be a health coach. And one of the big things, even Dr. Barry and everybody says, is if you cannot lose weight and you're gaining weight, check your thyroid panel, right? Check your thyroid. So, I don't know. That was probably the only real negative thing. Other than I think it's going to cost me a lot of money because he likes to run tests. He likes to run tests. So I don't know. What are your thoughts on that? Jerry, you look interested in this conversation. What are your thoughts?
Well, I got I forget who the guy is that does the testing. Oh my goodness, outside testing with the labs. Not
Mark
check.
Cuban.
I'm sorry.
Who?
Own Your Labs?
Yeah, who does that?
LabCorp?
No.
Mark Cuban?
No.
Oh, okay.
Mark Cuban doesn't own Your Labs. I forget his name.
I forget who it is too.
Right. He works in conjunction with, and I can just see their faces. I can't think of their names. So last year I just bought a subscription for the entire year for labs. Now I haven't done any of it because I was fasting. So now that I'm
Dave Feldman.
Thank you. Yep. Dave Feldman. So I paid 365 days for a year of testing with Dave Feldman, which I think is a bargain. And I don't have to ask Mayo because it seems like I have to pull teeth to ask to get the tests that I want. They won't give them to me. But I'm definitely interested in the fact that they're concerned about my vitamin D level, but I don't want to get sick.
Yeah.
But yet they flip out. Oh, you should be 170 or 175 pounds. I'm fine with 199. If I can use that as my benchmark and monitor that,
Ooh.
I'm cool with that.
Evelyn just said something interesting about, okay, so she says, I do all that weird stuff with my fingers while pushing 400 pounds. So Evelyn, says being that weight, she can do that with her fingers, because if you can do that, it also means you have Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. Very interesting. Yeah.
If
So
you can or can't, did she say?
can, because your joints, I think your joints pop out or something with ED. Ehlers-Danlos. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but I know what that is, and I know what she's talking about, and she has that. So that's
Is that
interesting.
a bad thing? Does Evelyn say it's a bad thing?
That's a disease, yes. It's a disease and it's not a good thing. I think it's an autoimmune disease, and there's different levels and symptoms on it, but I think it has to do with your joints, like issues with your joints and stuff like that. So yeah, that's a good point, and I did not know that, Evelyn. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, thanks.
Oh, and Booby Goats asked about my games. I wasn't going to do that tonight, but maybe we can try it. I'm going to take my camera off. I use this thing called Stream Ninja. I think it's what's reading my comments at the top. But you can also put games in here. So I'm going to change my picture. Now everybody can type exclamation point join to enter the game. And then I don't know if I can turn that off, but I think it said, so everybody type exclamation point join, and then I think you can do exclamation left, exclamation right, and then up, exclamation up or down to move. Oh, do you guys hear that? That's loud. Let me turn off the
I don't have that type of dexterity to do this.
so I don't know. This is just one of the games. I wanted to switch it. I don't know what's happening. I don't even know if you guys can hear me.
I don't even know where I'm going.
Okay, I'm gonna turn it off.
Oh, funny.
I don't know who won that. That's just one of the games. There's several of them. There's a dance party game. I don't know. So, Aaron, that is the game. That's one of the games. There's like 10 or 15 of them that I can turn on and play. So I don't know who won. Did it say who won?
I just got
It just
fun
ended it.
left. So
Yeah. So there's a dance game. There's a race car game. There's all kinds of stuff. So yeah.
Bride's biscuit exclamation point now scream.
Was there loud noises happening during that? Like
Like
I
computer
didn't
noises.
hear any noise.
like pew pews
hear
or
it.
anything? Because
Yeah, I
like
hear like
all
something.
there was pew pews,
Pew pew.
and it was really loud. And I was trying to figure out how to turn the. Lamb says he won. Lambs, you just won. You won. You won free air. That's all. Because I don't have a giveaway tonight. So yeah, so there's a ton of games in there, and I probably have to set them up before the stream because that one was on, and I don't know if I like that game, but I guess people were shooting each other with bows and arrows and stuff. I don't know. I don't know what it was.
Wow, Cowboys and Indians.
Yeah,
It's a family
Jerry's
game.
cracking up over here. So, yeah. The other thing I did, and I can't get this to work either, is a map. So if people type their city and state, it's supposed to like show up on this map. So I don't know. I won deep breaths, Slam says. Yeah, so I did a couple of things, but I don't know. I must have been bored one day and tired of studying for PhD in kilts and just said screw it and like started plugging stuff into the software. Oh, the other thing I did is you'll notice there's a leaderboard. So this is a chat leaderboard. So it looks like I can't see because there
Oh yeah, I
is
noticed that.
There's a
I think they
leaderboard.
Nightbot's winning.
I thought maybe it was
And
RIQ or
Nightbot's
something.
winning. So really, it's Barbara's in first.
Barbara, yeah.
Yeah,
Then
I'm
Grandma's
like-
crochet. Grandma's Barbara, then Evelyn, then Jerry's third, then Coach Juliet, then 22 Q Cat, then my dad, then Bride's Biscuit. So it keeps points of.
Yeah, and of course
people chatting.
Nightbot is on top.
We won't count that one. I
Yeah.
can't control it.
Yeah, well, I mean, takes all the credit, So
Okay, so Kelly just put his city and state on there. So let's see. I don't think this works.
Spanky wants to shoot right up to the top. Go, Spanky. Go, Spanky.
I'm just gonna give you fair warning. It's a huge city. You might have a hard time trying to find it.
Yeah, I don't think that map's working, which is a shame because it would be cool to see pinpoints all over the map, but whatever.
Yeah.
And Juju says Amy won great doctor report. So yeah, there's some goods and bads that happened in that doctor, but the fact that he wrote down in my chart cannot take a statin, I'm like all for that, right? And plus he's running tests to figure out things that I've been asking of other doctors that they haven't been able to figure out. So I think that's a win too. Overall, I think this is a doctor I can work with. The downside is my husband goes to him next month. And I've already decided I got to take the day off because like it was a 3-hour appointment. There's no way in heck my husband's going to sit there for 3 hours and be poked and prodded and have chest x-rays done. And like all, I already know he would be like, screw this and walk out and go like grab a beer somewhere. I'm just saying, and then he pretend like he went. So I know that I have to go with my husband to keep him on track. And there was like a book of paperwork that needed to be filled out. There's no way my husband, sorry, hubby, if you're listening, he already told me there's no way he's filling out the paperwork. So I need to go just to be his
trucker wife. I get you.
Yep. I'm the secretary of this household, and so I do all the paperwork. So, yeah, Juju, at least he's testing for the hypothyroid. So, well, guys, it's been almost 2 hours. So I want to end this by 9 so I can go do some studying for PhD. My sister's coming in town this week from Vegas. I am going to make her a keto lasagna. I don't know yet if I'm going to eat any of that or not. It's going to be Maria Emmerich's because I'm really trying to be extra clean right now. So I want to go around the panel and do final thoughts. So we'll start with Kelly.
Well, make sure you eat your meat. Stay away from the duck food and get much sun you can. And as I end my videos, let's be kind, be positive, have a good attitude, and encourage and support one another.
That's awesome, Kelly. And I hope you document your hip surgery so we can keep in touch and see your progress with that.
Oh, yeah, I'm definitely going to do that. I will have another video on the follow-up with the doctor's appointment for Tuesday. And then I'm actually going to do kind of a short video and be like a short video explaining that I'm going live. This is going to be new to me. I think I got it set up. I went by what directions GPT, whatever it is. I can't pronounce it. I'm so hoarse still. I went through that and I'm like, okay, because I use Emux is what I use for my streaming services. Because it does everything. It's like the top of the line and does everything cheaper than StreamYard, what I need it for. And so I'm like, I got to sit up and it says follow this. I'm like, well, settings, where is this? Oh, and I'm like, I'm getting frustrated. I said, I may have to get with Amy. I may have to email Amy to help me out with this. But as I go, all of a sudden I clicked and it automatically loaded it up because I already had the other part already done, copied URL. I got the thumbnail, all that done, and it automatically copies. So I go 5 minutes early and then I go, guess what? I guess what I have to do is go back to YouTube and click live and because and then that's when I can be live. So it's going to be a new thing.
But yes, I'm not familiar with EV Mux, but I think they all work the same. I mean, even I use Talk Studio because it was like $7 a month, and I'm cheap too. And then all this fancy stuff I programmed into OBS, but you can't have guests in OBS. You just can't. So you gotta subscribe to one of the things to bring people on, and that was one of my goals. So like $7 a month. The problem with this is it doesn't easily restream to other people's channels. As Jerry knows, we had to go through this whole rigmarole to set it up to stream to other people's channels.
I don't know if EV Mux, I don't know if it goes because I only used it so far for pre-recording videos to go on websites when I was doing my homesteading stuff, and then I was also, as I was doing my follow up on what the hip and what my diagnosis was with the MRI, and was showing those test results from the MRI. But the one reason why I decided to join the live stream bandwagon is because I agree with Rick's when he put out that video yesterday about, if you are a YouTuber and you put it out since 2024, later 2024, and now you're pretty much, if you're creative, you're pretty much going to be a small channel And I know
Mhm.
I'm here to share my journey and stuff, but I would like to get monetized to help cover the cost of some of this, the canvas that I use, the cap cut, the EV Mux, all that stuff. So if I can at least help be supplemental on the streaming stuff, then I'm going to try to do that. Which what the good thing is I got probably 2,300 more hours before I can get that first monetization, and
Mhm.
then I'm only 9 subscribers away from 2K.
Wow.
Wow.
So what am I
And
doing wrong? I don't even have
well,
1,000 subs
most of
yet.
mine,
You.
I kind of went through doing a paid promotion, and I recommend not doing that. But I'm very surprised. I
Yeah.
thought after I quit doing that I was going to be hurt, which it kind of didn't push out. But my
Mhm.
last video where I was talking about the trip, and it showed the mission trip, and it was showing the house, the house, because the two important things is I wanted people to listen what the missionary was saying about what the purpose of the house, and it got 443 views, and I'm like, wow, that I mean, it bounced back quick. So
Uh-huh.
I'm hoping this pizza one do pretty good as well.
Yeah. Everybody likes a good pizza, you know.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, and
So
this one
Jerry,
here,
oh, sorry. Go ahead.
and this I'll do real quick and I'll shut up. But yeah, that pizza, upside down pizza, actually was inspired by, I follow another guy named Kent Rollins. He's a cowboy cookie. He has his own chuck wagon. He actually has 2 chuck wagons. He has one in his ranch at Hollis, Oklahoma, and then he has one in New Mexico. And I don't, he's not carnivore or ketovore, but he shares a lot of recipes. And I saw this recipe a few months back, I said, I bet I can make this thing carnivore. I bet I can take, because the only thing that I took it that wasn't carnivore and in onions is ketovore. The only thing that
Mhm.
wasn't really carnivore in that whole thing was the biscotti sauce mix that he used, because it has a lot of cornstarch and stuff. I made my own seasoning. You can take it out. That's why I said
Yep.
season at whatever you want, salt, whatever. I made my own seasoning, kind of blended in, make it Italian. And then the croissant rolls things that he used. That was the only thing that was not carnivore. Everything else was carnivore, ketovore. So
That's
that was,
awesome.
He's been on Food Network before. I've seen him on there.
yeah, he challenged Bobby Flay.
Yep.
So Jerry, final thoughts for
Well,
anything.
there's that
What you're
old
doing?
saying, we have 2 ears to hear and 1 mouth to speak. I turned it around with the realization after not having any dairy for 40 days. Once I had that cake with the cream, clearly you have to use 2 ears to hear, but 1 brain to think. Do
Mhm.
you really want that cake? Because if you have the oopsie cake, as delicious and carnivore as it is, what's it going to cost me? I have this phlegminess. I have people on the stream that are noticing that the river's starting to flow with my nose. And it only
Mhm.
happened once I ate the cake. So you have to think. I don't believe in food noise. That's just me. Food never talked to me. Food never spoke to me for 40 days. I don't know where food talks to people. I don't get it. But that's just me. All I know is I eat the cake, the nose is going, the dogs are getting the rest of the cake because it's carnivore. My dogs can eat my cake. And I feel good about it.
Right. Right. That's awesome. Thomas, turning it over to you for final thoughts.
Yes, sis. Yeah, trying to think, because I don't really have thoughts, so final thoughts is a little extreme, but um, I guess
Just
I'll
keep it there.
Okay, let's do a word. A word of the day, Thomas. Can you think of a word? One word. Not a sentence, a word.
I'll do my final thoughts on my ending that I usually do on my live streams.
Perfect.
So live, love, heal, and for God's sakes, people, eat the meat.
Yep. Okay, good job. Paul number 1, final thoughts.
And you just keep on keeping on, and about all you can say is just day after day. And I'm always a little surprised if somebody says, well, aren't you bored with this or bored with that? Yeah, I wasn't really hungry. You wait a while, then the ground beef isn't so boring, or the eggs aren't so boring if you wait a while. And nothing like truly being hungry to enjoy your food.
Yep. Paul, number 2, final thoughts.
Just everybody keep their fingers crossed and knock every piece of wood that you can get that I win my 40th tournament this summer, because once that happens, I can look at retirement.
Wow,
Ooh.
that's big news.
So
Now
That's
to the
big news.
retirement right here, up close and personal.
Okay.
I've been trying to get my 40th tournament for a long ass time. So
All right,
Well,
everybody send
God
Paul
bless
some
you.
good vibes. I'm winning. Okay, so my final thought is going to be if you're not carnivore and you want to try carnivore, but you think it's going to be too restrictive and too boring, I'm here to tell you I am almost 200 days in on a 30-day experiment, right? So I only committed to doing it 30 days. I'm 200 days in, and let me tell you, I could eat the same thing every day. Eggs and beef. I could eat the same thing every day, and it feels so good. Like, it feels nourishing. It feels like, even with my condition, right? Even with my condition, it feels like I'm putting the right fuel in my body, and it feels like I feel so much better having gone. That's the reason why I went carnivores, because I was feeling not optimal on keto. And I would say I do feel so much better, even with thyroid issues on carnivore, that I feel like carnivore's taking care of the majority of the problem. I probably just need a little assistance with the medication. But if you're thinking about trying it, do it, and tell yourself, do it for 30 days. Say, I'm only doing it for 30 days, because I guarantee you things will happen in that 30 days that you won't want to stop. And I haven't even had a drop of alcohol, because I did keto, but I also did social drinking. The carnivore made me feel so good. I don't even want to drink alcohol. I don't want to feel like crap, especially not now that I know that I have, a situation going on that is affected. But anyway, I want to thank this awesome panel from coming on tonight. I'm going to do this again. Probably nobody will come because it's Super Bowl Sunday. But for
be
those
here.
people who
I'll
don't
be
watch
here.
football, I decided not to do a guest or anything, because I'm like, I don't want to ask anybody to come on because it's Super Bowl Sunday and people want to watch Super Bowl. But anybody who's not into pro football, I only like Notre Dame football. Anyone who's not into pro football, want to come and hang out. I called it the halftime show. Next week is Barbara's Crochet Corner. She's coming on. The following week, Jerry and I are doing a cook-off. We are
Yes.
doing a cook-off in the kitchen. It's going to be amazing.
Cook
So,
off in the laundry room for me.
well, she'll be in the laundry room. I'll be honest with you. I chat GPT to recipes, so I don't know if it's going to be any good or not. So we're going to go head to head. And then the following week might be Paul, who left. And then I think we're getting to there's a Avenger contest in there somewhere too. I tried to do that like the first of the month. So
Come
first
on,
of the month.
Amy. Amy, who wants to watch that Super Bowl act, that bunny guy, whatever he is? Forget about it. We want to be here with you.
So I'm providing halftime show, carnivore keto halftime show for those people. There's probably not going to be, well, there could be entertainment. I mean, the chat was getting pretty entertainment with naked Peter stuff. I don't know what that was. I'm going to have to go back and reread
and
the
I saw
chat.
some of the quotes about him being Fred Flintstone too. So.
I may have to turn off the automatic chat if things get out of control, because I can't control it. It's going to read it no matter what. But they didn't say any blocked words. Okay. I want to thank the panel, everybody coming on. It was a lot of fun, and we'll do this again. For now, though, you know how this goes. At the very end, we get to listen to a song, and we get to see the rolling credits of everybody that participated in the stream. So I'm going to say goodbye to the panel. Thank you all. And we're going to call this a night, everybody. carnivore on and keto on, whatever you're doing. Okay, I'm hiding you one at a time. Did I get everybody? Hold on. We still have Kelly. Kelly, okay. Are we ready, folks? Here we go. Have a good night.